Hey, what's going on, guys? Matt Weik here. So, on today's episode, I want to talk about content because, as you know, we have platforms like YouTube, we have blogs, we have vlogs, and everything in between. So, today, more people are engaging with different platforms such as YouTube and podcasts than ever before. And that's really cool for creators like myself. Maybe you're a creator, maybe you watch a ton of different creators that you subscribe to, whatever the case may be. But the problem that I have is that so many people are engaging in content and they're listening, but they're not executing. So, what I want you to really look at and focus on is who are you engaging with in terms of who are you watching, who are you trying to learn information from, and what are you trying to gather and get out of that? I mean, listen, if you have 3 hours in your day that you're spending watching content, whether it's on YouTube or you're listening to podcasts, that's great. There's a ton of valuable information that's out there. Just like my stuff, I hope it brings you value as well. But if you're not implementing that into your life, your business, you're not utilizing those strategies that people are providing to you and going out and executing, you're really just wasting those 3 hours of your day. If that's the case, I would rather you take those 3 hours and fit in an hour workout, maybe fit in an hour of meal prepping for the coming days, and go to bed an hour early. Those three things are going to help your health, which essentially is going to help your life, your business, it's going to help you perform better at work, whatever the case may be. But like for me, I know it came to a point where I finally had to either A, start unsubscribing to people on YouTube. I'm a big YouTube holic. I don't watch television. Every once in a blue moon, maybe I'll watch something like sports. If football's on, maybe I'll watch football. But other than that, I really don't ever have the television on. My son likes television. Maybe I'll put it on. But even if he's watching television, generally I'm engaging with something on YouTube during that time. He's doing his thing. I'm doing my thing. We're both relaxing, both chilling. But I would rather get my information from other people that I respect in various industries. I follow guys who are in the fitness and the health space. I follow guys who talk about supplements. I follow guys who talk about business ownership and entrepreneurship and stuff like that. So it really comes down to what are you trying to get out of the content? If it's entertainment purposes and you like watching, funny cat videos, hey, who am I to judge? But at the end of the day, if you're engaging with people, whether it's myself, I'm just going to name some names: Gary Vaynerchuk, Patrick Bet-David, Grant Cardone, Josh Shaw, who does a ton of stuff with various supplements. He does more of like the business side of it versus the formulations and what it can do for you. He looks at, who's showing growth, who's not, who's new to the market, who he sees doing extremely well in the next 3 to 5 years, whatever the case may be. Josh is a great guy to go follow. But the bottom line here is I want you to really sit down and figure out why you're following people. Look, if I'm taking up your time and you're not getting any value from me, you're not going to hurt my feelings if my content is not your cup of tea. It's not what you're looking for. And you either don't listen to the podcast or you don't watch the YouTube video. You don't engage with the content that I have on the website, whatever the case may be. I respect that. I would rather you spend that time doing something that's going to bring more value to you. Now, while my content, I try to bring some entertainment value to you, I also primarily want to bring you value. I want you to get something from the content that I'm putting out that you can apply to your life, your health, your fitness, your workouts, your business. You can take to your employer and start utilizing. That's what I really want to do and what I want to provide. But only you know what you're actually looking for at the end of the day. So engage with people and businesses and the content that they produce and provide and put out for you guys to utilize for free, and figure out what of that you are going to get the most value from. And from that, narrow that down to, a smaller group. Again, I go back to myself. I can't even tell you, oh man, I had probably, it was well over 30 channels that I was subscribed to on YouTube. And I was spending hours at night. I would be up past midnight watching all of these different videos, all educational stuff on how to better myself and my abilities. But it got to the point where I was like, I can only learn and digest and implement so many things at a time before it's like in one ear, out the other, and I'm just kind of wasting my time. So I had to narrow it down. Now, the time that I spend on YouTube is a lot more condensed, but I'm getting more from it because I can listen and watch and understand, and then I can implement and execute those things that I learn. So that's what I really want you to do as well moving forward, is focus on the implementation and the execution of the content that you watch. If you're a marketer, maybe you're part of a marketing team where you work, or maybe you have a marketing business that is just you. So you engage with that type of content on YouTube, or you listen to podcasts, or you read blogs about marketing. Figure out the small group that you want, digest that content. What I recommend is actually writing some of the stuff down. So for instance, if I'm not a marketer, so I don't know the lingo, but if you're getting a piece of information that you're like, wow, that's really good, I should use that. Don't just keep watching it till the end, because more than likely you're going to hear something else and you're going to completely forget that first thing that you wanted to implement. So what I recommend is, and what I personally do, again, I want to, I practice what I preach. I'm not going to tell you to do something if I'm not doing it myself. I literally have a piece of paper in front of me. It's a notebook and a pen, sometimes a pencil, mainly a pen. But I will listen to the things that they say. And if something triggers, like, oh, that's a great idea, I will write it down. And then I'll pause the video or pause the podcast, write it down, jot down any type of notes. So implement this on social media. Implement this with my blog. Change this on my website. Start utilizing this for YouTube. Do X, do Y. So I have a physical list on paper of what I need to do so I can go out and execute. It's not up here. I joke all the time. I have a fantastic memory. It's just short. I'm one of those people who you could be in a conversation, I'd be like, oh, squirrel. That's me. My attention span is very narrow. If I'm bored, good luck. I probably tuned out. But if I'm engaged with something, I want to be 1,000% there. That's why I have the piece of paper. That's why I have the pen, and I'm jotting down the notes as I go along with the different content. Again, not everything that I watch is going to resonate with me and my situation, just like with you. And what I do is, and it's going to probably sound rude, I stop the video or the podcast and I move on to the next thing. There's so many different people that I follow, but not every single piece of content, and I'm sure not all of my pieces of content you engage with, and I'm totally okay with that. But rather than wasting your time, and when you know that there's nothing that you're going to take away from it that you can go out and execute on anyways, just stop watching it. Move on to the next thing, or go do something else. Whatever you can do to stay productive during the day is what I would recommend. That's really all I have for this video. I just wanted to talk about content in general, the value that you can get from it, and going out and executing, because essentially, if you're watching 1 hour, 10 hours, whatever of content in a day's time, there's only so much that you can implement. And at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. If you're not executing on the things that you're, listening to or watching, what's the real purpose? So that's all I got. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Thank you so much for, joining me on this podcast, whether it's over on iTunes that you're giving this podcast a listen, or you're on YouTube and you're finally watching me. For so long, I've gotten so many different messages on social media of, hey, Matt, I love your content. I've been watching on YouTube because I'm already on the YouTube platform. Why don't you record it so that we at least have something to watch versus your, Weik podcast, Weik Fitness podcast logo or whatever. So I'm still not comfortable in front of this camera, but I'm getting there, I think. So I hope you guys got some value out of this. Hopefully you're enjoying the content that I'm putting out. By all means, please feel free to leave me comments and some feedback, hopefully constructive feedback down in the comments. But feel free to reach out. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day, an amazing weekend, and I hope to catch you guys on the next episode.